Joined here by Mike Peterson and Joe Kinsky, and I appreciate you gentlemen for swinging by and catching up with me today.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, I'm excited.
And, we just got off recently getting through regionals. Just kind of what were your guys' initial thoughts of, making regionals and getting a chance to compete in it?
Yeah, this was a really special team this year. We had a lot of guys coming back when COVID ended everything last year. And it was just a really special group to be a part of. And to make it all the way to regionals, it was kind of a heartbreaking loss with what happened and all down at Nampa. But I'm just really thankful to be a part of this team and all the guys that were on it.
Yeah, we worked hard all year. We had a lot of returners, a lot of guys with a lot of depth, and we made a statement. We were able to go out there and prove that we are a team that can kind of compete with those nationally ranked teams, and it was a lot of fun to be there. It was a cool experience.
How much do you think, going through the perseverance you guys had to show in the adversity this year? Said this year was unlike any other, when we didn't know when we were going to get to play, how many games we were going to get to play, even towards the end of the year, when some of those games were canceled, you guys weren't sure if, regionals was going to happen. So how neat was it to just kind of put together the season you guys did and, have had the success you had?
Right. Yeah, it was a little weird because we had, the last trimester of the season, you could say we were kind of playing, then 2 weeks off, and then playing and 2 weeks off. But I felt like with this team, everybody was always locked in, and it didn't really matter, whereas teams in the past, maybe that would have been a factor. With this team, I don't think it really mattered. Everybody was just always locked in at the field and always wanted to be there and was always giving their 100%.
Yeah, I don't got much else other than that. That was well said.
How about for you guys, both being pitchers, what was it like being on this staff? We had a very talented staff. Of course, Mike, you were the GNET Pitcher of the Year, but we had a lot of guys that could go out there, Dunaway would follow you up usually in those double headers. He'd bring the gas out there, get guys off speed there. And then, Joe, you guys out there in the bullpen had many guys that could come out there and do big things. So what was it like just being part of this pitching staff?
It was great. It was a good group of guys, that's for sure. We got a ton of characters on the team. I don't think we could have done it without the defense behind us, though. We got some great defenders in the infield and outfield. And even I threw to the same catcher the whole year long, Ryan Santa Cruz. Just want to give a shout-out to him. I think he did a great job calling games for me the entire year, so I'm pretty thankful for that.
Yeah, it was cool to play with a lot of depth, a lot of older guys, too, who had experience at the college level. I think that was really special, just being able to share that experience with each other, what we've learned in the past. And it was cool to get so close with such a big group of guys. If we had made it farther in the regionals or farther into a national championship, I think that would have been a fundamental pillar of kind of our success, and that we could go deep in games, we could play multiple games, and it was really cool to have that.
Let's kind of recap, each of your guys' appearances, out there at regionals. How neat was it to get out there, on that stage, and play, Mike, you go out there and start, and come back on short days rest, you pitch another inning. So just kind of recap, your outing, and we'll go into Joe's after that.
Yeah, well, I started the first game of the regional against NNU, and it was kind of weird because we hadn't really played with fans all year long. When I got out there in the first inning, it all kind of hit me because I don't know the exact number, but there was definitely not a lot of seats available for extra fans. But it was super fun. It was a great environment. Both teams were competing as hard as they possibly could. It was just a super fun outing. And to finish, I believe we won the game 9-2. We scored 2 runs in the 9th inning. That 9th inning was crazy. I was pacing in the dugout. It was just a crazy game to be a part of. And to come back on short rest. It was a winner go home game. So I just felt like I got a good little flush in the next day after I threw, so I felt like I was prepared. And I played catch that morning, and it felt fine, so I told my coaches that I was good to go, and just kind of left it all on the table.
For you, Joe, it was really neat for you to get out there. You pitched those 3+ solid innings. You even struck out the side in one of those innings. How nice was it to come out there, kind of been that mid-relief guy and kind of bridge it and, have the outing you put together?
Yeah, it was cool. It was a culmination of a lot of hard work and, whether on my end or the rest of the team and the coaching staff trying to get us ready for kind of that big of a moment. It didn't feel like anything too crazy, With that in mind, there were a lot of fans. It was a, really cool environment and a chance to go to the championship. I really felt like I settled in well, kind of calmed my nerves, and just gave it everything I had. It was a lot of fun.
You guys kind of talked about it a little bit before, but how neat was it to have as many seniors we had come back? 'Cause, it was such a weird year last year. You guys, barely got a month in, and everything got shut down. How nice was it to kind of have that leadership and some of those guys come back and contribute this year?
Yeah, it was great. Connor McCord, I should give a shout-out to Connor. Connor's been here for, I think this was his 5th year, and he's been a great leader, a great teammate for all 5 years, and Blaze, we got other leaders, other seniors. It was just a great group of guys to be a part of. Everybody got along. Everybody was bought in on the same goal. It was a pretty special team to be a part of.
Yeah, I'd say we had a culture here that was really special. Kind of going off what Mike said, we were all on the same page. We knew what it took, what hard work looked like, and what we needed to be doing on our own to make sure that we'd have a chance to do something like that. And it was really special to have a lot of guys with a lot of tradition who have been here for a while and have been able to kind of uphold that tradition and kind of keep it how it's been. So it was cool to be a part of. It was really fun.
All right, Mike and Joe, I really appreciate you, both swinging by. Great catching up with you. Looking forward to, what we'll be doing next year as well, and we'll catch up with you again soon.
Awesome.
Thanks
Thank
for
you for your
having us.
time.